These new Mega Drive games with stolen art are being sold at a price and are vastly praised by YouTubers. Let's talk about it. Kai Magazine's Mega Drive games are all terrible. I played through all of them. Thanks to Kai Magazine for sending over copies for me to stream from start to end. I went into every one of them excited because they're video games, and at the end of the fourth one, I was furious and went into a 3-hour-long rant because basically of the scummy behavior from the developer lying to me and my viewers in my chat during my live stream of this game here, The Secret of the Four Winds. These games feature at best lazy traces or edits of sprites or graphics from other games and artists. And at worst, lots of just straight up stolen assets. These games are being sold for money and are not fan projects. His older MSX stuff also does this, and some of it was sold, but this video is about the Mega Drive scene, which this person understood to be more profitable and unfortunately too lenient and positive on the reception side of things, as I will cover. Now, not only stolen assets, but these games also allegedly feature what people are saying is AI-generated artwork. The topic first came up while I was streaming The Secret of the Four Winds, and my chat pointed out how these cutscenes here that don't really match the story text below them are garbled and inconsistent in places, and that they look AI-generated. Personally, I will limit myself to pointing out how they all have different art styles and techniques, which is a constant in Kai Magazine games, because everything is different from everything else. It's got all a different style because everything is either stolen or allegedly AI generated. And I will also point out how the developer came into my chat shortly after this AI conversation we had, and I asked him about it. He said that they're not AI generated, but that he commissioned those to somebody. I noticed though that this somebody is not credited in the game or in the manual. However, the cover artists and the guy who made the big bosses are credited. So I have to guess that he didn't do these two, which are taken from a paid pack that if he had paid for, we would see the other, beautiful backgrounds and assets in it in this game. Again, this video is about spreading facts. I'm trying my best not to attack anyone personally because you guys watching this video aren't dumb and you can make up your own mind. And hopefully the Mega Drive scene improves from it, okay? So, Kai Magazine was in my chat during the stream, which is a cool thing, but it turned out to be infuriating because of all the combined weirdness and defensive behavior in response to what were questions and not accusations. So, this guy's got a lot of defensive behavior, which happens when you're guilty of something, but I don't care about that. Keep in mind, it's not cool if you go like harass him or other people or YouTubers and whatnot. Kai Magazine seen me comment on the different art style of everything. He claimed that the blurrier graphics are not because of digitization, but that he did those himself pixel by pixel years back. And then his art style evolved because the game, he says, began development in 2017, which is hilarious if you play the game. Digitization, by the way, is when you scan something and you put it in your game instead of doing the pixel art from scratch. There is nothing wrong at all with digitization, and it can lead to great results, especially if cleaned up properly with pixel art on top of it. Now, this video isn't really meant to review these games, but I need to explain how much of a piece of trash they are, especially this one. This one bogs the player down with grinding in big square rooms with hundreds of the same handful of repeated enemy sprites that, turns out, you can just run away from. See this? See what's wrong with this? Alright. Do I stop for some healing before the boss? Let's. Ah, we're cool. Let's go. Just like you can in their first Mega Drive release, which is recycled like the other ones from the MSX days. Metal Dragon. I am playing the game. I know it's hard to believe because I'm staring right at you down the fucking lens. I know it's hard for you to believe I'm playing this video game, but I am playing this video game. I assure you I have not touched this piece of filth once since I streamed it in 2021, or where was it? But I assure you I'm playing this game right now on default settings. I am looking at you, but I'm playing the game. See, I'm gonna shoot now. Now, this to say that Kai Magazine was telling me I was playing the game wrong and that the game has souls mechanics because you can decide whether or not you're gonna run away from the enemies or fight them. Weird defensive behavior justifying the total lack of polish for his products when he's not even being attacked for it. He's just asking questions and commenting since you came into my chat, where I'm gonna engage with you. Metal Dragon also has Souls mechanics then, I guess. It's a garbage Mercs clone with lazy traces. No content and Souls mechanic. It's like Dark Souls because you can run through the entire game. This all built up towards the end of The Secret of the Four Winds, where people in my chat pointed out that these cutscenes here are directly copy-pasted from Last Blade 1 and Last Blade 2, which are SNK arcade fighting games, so not even stealing from something obscure which is hard to, you know, put together. There's more to it, never ends. Kai Magazine was constantly justifying whatever he had caught me saying about his game as being by design. All the while, I was playing his poorly designed game with insane padding. Padding is when you pad a game, when you make the game artificially longer with bullcrap, like in the case of this game, just enemies, copy-pasting them, putting 100 enemies in big, empty, boring areas, and then the enemies don't change. The sprites of the enemies stay the same, but they're just more powerful. He said this padding was because he had gotten a critique about his other games being too short, which makes no sense since the other games are action games and this is more like an action RPG. So all this combined with the supposedly and allegedly lying about this or that, and like the commissioned artwork or him having done pixel art by himself, and then all of his defensive comments just sort of sent me spinning after a while. It's important to say though, Kai Magazine may not even be the biggest issue here. We're talking about a guy who is stealing art from stuff like SNK games or even Metal Slug and stuff like that. So eventually he was bound to get caught and trashed online. The problem here, I think, is a lot on the consumer side. These games sell like hotcakes. Every Mega Drive new game sells like hotcakes because there are collectors, yes, but also because every new Mega Drive game gets praised by YouTubers no matter what. And if you're excited about playing the next Kai Magazine game, which, you know, has so much effort put into it that the trailer ends with a full minute of black screen after showing all these stolen assets, traces, and what people are saying is AI-generated pixel art, that's cool if you're excited to play that. These are video games, I don't mind. But there are YouTubers that are praising them as literally great games because maybe that's their hustle on YouTube and they need to pay for their daughter's swimming school. Or maybe they just don't know any better. I don't know. It's probably in good faith, so that's also fine. But this is uneducated positivity towards maliciously bad video games that steal graphics and assets from other games or artists, and the developer sells them for profit. Okay? Now let me paint you a picture about the quality of these games. Metal Dragon is just fully mercs, lazy traces. Tracing is when you draw, you draw over something. And in video games, it's cool if you do that, like as a reference, and then you change a lot. But these are just lazy traces. Kai Magazine does nothing on its own. And it's all stolen, right? This is all fully mercs traces with no variety. The first boss is a tank, and the last boss is 6 tanks, one after the other. It's the same tank too. On default settings, you can just run through the entire game and get to bosses with hundreds of grenades. So it's got Souls mechanics, guys. It's Souls mechanics. So this is the level of polish and quality that you should expect from Kai Magazine games, okay? But that's their first Mega Drive game. I didn't know about the stolen stuff, so whatever. It's a bad game. Keep trying. I was positive myself about Kai Magazine. Let's move on. Now, we got Life on Mars Genesis. They got weird names because these games are all recycled from his MSX days, except for the latest one, The Secret of the Four Winds. Life on Mars Origin is slow, empty, and boring. Every enemy is a damage sponge, like there's no balance or polish as usual. It's really the least offensive of the four, though. But of course also has stolen assets from a bunch of games. I'll keep pointing these references, these stolen and traces asset out, but you should just assume that nothing in these games is ever original. And if you have doubts about it, I've seen it firsthand. There's who's compiled some of them on his bluesky thread. That's linked in the description. Some of the things were pointed out to me by my chat or by Mako45, his Discord community, my Discord community, where Krokodyl's being active, researching obsessively because he's cool like that. I've seen that research. I'm not going to show you every little stolen thing. I've seen it all, and I have every reason to assume that nothing is original at all, that everything is stolen, and I don't care after a little bit, right? Then there's Life on Earth Reimagined, the one with the literally has a level where you jump from ship to ship, but you can fall through the ships. You can fall through the platforms. These platforms are also stolen, by the way. Just like the character sprite is traced again from this point on. Just assume everything is copy-pasted or something, then either lazily edited or filtered. You can fall through the platforms. There's also knockback from enemies spawning in your face, so you just continuously fall down randomly and have to redo it. I'm not complaining about the difficulty. I still finished this in one sitting. I'm just highlighting how offensively unpolished these games are while making a profit off of stolen assets and lazily traced art. These are so bad and unpolished that you can fall through the platforms. The only time I ever fell down through a platform consistently in a Mega Drive game was on a Taiwanese bootleg, The Lion King 2. And there's like one platform in Chakan, the Foreverman, where that happens. It's just unexcusable, right? But that's also by design, according to him. That's by design, right? Because whatever. Their last game release so far, The Secret of the Four Winds, it starts off exciting and well-paced, then just subjects the player to nonsense, like I was saying earlier. It's almost as if what matters the most is for the game to, look cool at the beginning and put a hot video game woman with big breasts at some point. So YouTubers can play the game for 10 minutes and put the hot woman on the thumbnail. That's actually pretty smart. It works. I do that too. Finally, Death and Lead is Kai Magazine's upcoming game. Ignoring the stolen graphics and the allegedly AI-generated background, I don't know who rationally looks at this trailer and thinks this is good, since it's obvious that you're mostly going to be on one lane, with the same enemy being thrown at you, which looks just like your guy, which looks just like the Wild Guns guy. You could make a better trailer out of this footage by making it shorter and not letting it show its bad pacing and its repetition. But it doesn't really matter, does it? And you got what people are saying is allegedly AI-generated pixel art, and Kai Magazine is answering with this, which if one wanted to think ill, then he could say that he is obviously playing dumb. But I will leave you guys to make up your own mind on that one. I just like to point out how all these faces have a completely different, not only art style, but technique behind it too. So, actually, fuck it. It said in my chat that you can't use AI to generate Mega Drive graphics that would fit on the console. And yeah, no shit. but you can sure AI generate images and then work them out to fit those specs. I'm not saying he used AI. I don't know if he did, but don't treat people like idiots. Now, I'm not a customer. Shout outs to Kai Magazine for hooking me up with the games, but don't treat me like an idiot in my fucking chat room while I'm streaming the game that you made, because I will tear you down even if only 200 people watch this video. Speaking of views, what's the reception to these games, right? Now, again, not attacking anybody. Don't go harass the developer. Don't go harass other YouTubers in the comments. Attack, if you want, attack the products or the videos. Don't attack the persons. You're gonna be a piece of trash if you do that. Don't do that, okay? There are 4 YouTubers that cover every new Mega Drive game release, and it seems like they always have good things to say, no matter what. They're probably just trying to be supportive. Again, no hate towards anyone, of course, not even Kai Magazine's dumb ass. Is it really dumb, though, if it just works? I don't know. Anyways, I just don't like the situation here, so I'm talking about it. No one should feel personally attacked, and if they do, they're stupid, and I don't care, okay? So they're probably just trying to be supportive, and surely they don't know about the stolen assets, or they didn't. But even then, they're not making a honest effort at times, some of these, to judge these games. And again, it's video games, so no need to be as serious as to say, you didn't properly review this game, who cares? But sometimes it does seem like the effort is done in the opposite way, where these games must be judged and pushed positively, no matter what. What's up with that? Okay, so we got John Hancock. These games get positive comments by John Hancock, who's just trying to be supportive and put a video out. Plays them for only a few minutes. These aren't high-effort videos, nor are they reviews. They're more like sneak peeks. After all, some of these games got me interested or excited as well at the very beginning, where they might appear more polished, right? Then there's On a Retro Tip. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. On a Retro Tip makes an effort to apparently actually play a bit more of the games and review them with some criticism, and calls them good games. That's fine, you know. I think it's obvious the games are terrible and that they're trash and have only like a couple of cool things, if you dig, that can be saved, like at times a soundtrack or good use of highlights and transparencies and whatnot. Still, I have no problems with who enjoys these games. I do the same with many bad games. This video is about maliciousness, and if On a Retro Tip enjoy these games, that's cool, and we're going to move on. He points out some flaws, respect that, even though he seems to be very Sega console-minded and should refer to Mercs as an arcade game and not a Mega Drive game. You know, I'll be there. I'll be that kind of guy, since this video is just mansplaining Kai Magazine to the internet. Okay, sorry about that. Most importantly, On a Retro Tip was thorough and pointed out how you can just fall through the platforms here, which the next YouTubers seem to hide on purpose. Sega Lord X. Here, that section in Sega Lord X's video is presented in a perfect run while he's highlighting Savage Regime soundtrack without any deaths or falling through the platforms. While the other auto-scrolling section is reviewed as being tough. But that's just tough. It's not stupidly broken like the other one. So are we just ignoring the incredibly broken part of the game and sharing it to your audience as a great game? Come on, Sega Lord X, you're supposed to be the big dog here, no? What the fuck? Anyways, he has a video from 1 month ago talking superficially about all the Kai Magazine Mega Drive games. This video is still accessible through a playlist, but seems to be unlisted now. So maybe he and other people, hopefully, are catching on. Good on Sega Lord X. And then we got Retro Gamer Boy. Retro Gamer Boy is too far gone, I think, when it comes to his videos and Kai Magazine games, in particular, new Mega Drive games. I don't really want to comment, but he has this video titled New Sega Genesis and Mega Drive is better than most SNES games, which talks about Death and Lead, the upcoming Kai Magazine Western game, which is obviously inspired by Wild Guns, which it steals from. And Retro Gamer Boy then proceeds to never mention Wild Guns because it's a Super Nintendo game, and that's his thing. He only talks about Mega Drive games. He references Sunset Riders, showing the Mega Drive game instead of the arcade game, denoting a certain level of, close-mindedness. I only talk about Mega Drive. That's cool. Whatever. Just it's stupid in context, but it's cool per se. All right, not attacking Retro Gamer Boy, but this video is idiotic. He mentions that, about Sunset Riders. He mentions Rambo and Dynamite Duke while talking about references. And the script he's reading from is just uncanny valley from my perspective, so I'll just refrain from commenting any further. Except for one thing, okay? When I mention hustling on YouTube, it's not a bad thing, It's cool if you just want to put videos out to share things with your audience. Some people will appreciate it, right? We all got info from different sources, so that's fine. But retrospectively, and this is very easy for me to say, okay, because it's in hindsight, I once clicked Retro Gamer Boy's video on the PSCD situation, thinking I might find out more about those scams, because I did not for a second believe PSCD's victim stories at all. But it turned out that Retro Gamer Boy was just regurgitating the PSCD video and the PSCD story as well. So, anyways, it's an extremely deep and obscure rabbit hole, that one with the PSCD campaigns. If you want to look into it, you're welcome to. I'm not CoffeeZilla. All right. Time Extension also just regurgitates stuff. They are a retro gaming article website. They took the bluesky thread by Krokodyl, but that's good. More people now know about Kai Magazine thanks to also Time Extension. I first saw Time Extension when they came up with an article about the 10 worst Mega Drive games or something, and they listed Super Highlight without mentioning it's a port of a PC-88 game, so I still have a bad impression of that website, but hey, the more the merrier. All right, go spread the word, and I'm sorry if I come through as petty and fussy about video games. After all, it is known that I have a very small piece, okay? Kai Magazine has been doing this for at least 10 years now. If you look back at his MSX2 stuff, he's been stealing graphics since 1995, and he's been selling games with stolen graphics for at least 10 years. Now, he's found a more thriving scene in the Mega Drive market. I don't care if people buy his games with stolen graphics to put them on their shelves, but I needed to call out the collective behavior around them, whether it's in good faith and ignorance or not. This way, hopefully, the modern Mega Drive scene is better off. Ciao. Oh, I'm trying to do that, McCall, but yeah.